Welcome back to Across Louisiana. You know, we begin this morning with a very serious subject. It's the subject of domestic violence, and there's a great organization here in the greater Baton Rouge area that's making a difference in that area. It's the IRIS Domestic Violence Center. You're here to tell us all about that great organization and some exciting events coming up. It's Kimberlee Wells. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Obviously, this is a problem that affects many people nationwide, but also right here in the greater Baton Rouge area, right?
Mm-hmm. It is a wide growing problem in our community, and like you said, nationwide, we've seen a spike in domestic violence, not only with women and children, but we also see men as well. And so we are working feverishly every day to make strides to, decrease that number.
I saw this stat and I just absolutely couldn't believe it, that every 15 seconds there's an incident of domestic violence. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I tell people all the time when I go out and I speak and do community events, I have people to close their eyes and I count to 15. And then I go to the next person and I tap them on their shoulders and they have no idea what I'm doing. And once I finish, I say, okay, now that I've counted to 15 so many times, that's how many people who were just abused, whether it was hit, whether they were kicked, whether they were choked or whatever. So when you put it in that aspect, it's quite alarming, quite alarming.
Well, luckily IRIS is here to help address this problem and take care of it here in the greater Baton Rouge area. Tell me a little bit about sort of the mission of IRIS and some of the great programs that you offer.
Yeah, IRIS Domestic Violence Center, we always say that we're here to empower and protect, and we like to hit that message home. We want to protect those that are victims of domestic violence, but we also want to empower them as well. We're not in the business of enabling those who come to us, but empowering. We're giving them those tools to actually get back out in the community and be productive with their lives. We want them to know that just because you've gone through this situation does not mean that this is the end of the road for you.
Well, I know that in order for you to keep doing that great work here in the greater Baton Rouge area, it takes money to do that. You have an exciting fundraiser coming up. It's food themed, which is always popular here in Baton Rouge. Tell us a little bit about the Irish Chefs Showcase.
Yeah, we
Show Off, I'm sorry.
We really just changed the name to Irish Chef Show Off. It was Women's Chef Show Off, but we want to move away from that because it's not just about women, it's about everyone.
Right.
So it is going to be on March the 3rd, Thursday, March the 3rd at the Bell of Baton Rouge. We're inviting as many chefs that want to participate to do so. We have tons of live music, live entertainment. And what happens is people come and we have several chefs within the community and you're able to go by and visit their tables. So if you happen to be one of those people, please call us at 225-389-3001.
And this is the kind of town that loves to eat and loves a good party, and even more so if it's for such a great cause, right? So if people want to go and take part in this great event, what do they need to do to find out more information?
Right. If you want to participate, you can always call us, like I said, at the number that I just gave. And also you can go to our website at stopdv, D as in David, V as in Victory.org. And there'll be information there if you want to register to come. Last year, I know that we did online ticketing, and you can also do will calls. So we try to make it where it's very easy for the community to come out.
Sounds like a great time. It's great work you're doing. Thanks so much for coming on and telling us all about it today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Well, you know of them as the first name in physical therapy here in the greater Baton Rouge area, but now they're making a difference in pelvic health. It's Peak Performance. Take a look.
Pelvic floor therapy is something that lots of people don't know about or know that they can get help for. It's a very sensitive subject. People don't really like to talk about it around here, about bladder dysfunction, bowel dysfunction, or any kind of pelvic pain. But it's very common for women, especially after having babies or in the menopausal years. So having a place like this is a very comfortable place for them to come so that they can get treatment for their pelvic muscle dysfunction, and we can really work to eliminate the bladder and bowel symptoms. So at the initial evaluation, we sit and talk where the patient tells me their symptoms, I get a good medical history on the patient, and then I explain to them the function of the pelvic muscles related to their bladder or bowel dysfunction. When we come into the treatment room, we use the biofeedback technology to get a muscle reading. We watch it on the computer screen. The patient watches it with me. We analyze the muscle strength. I show the patient this is what your strength looks like, this is what we're looking for. We also look at resting pelvic muscle tone, endurance, coordination, and we do this each time the patient comes to therapy. When they go home, they do not have the technology, obviously, but they have homework that they practice. And then once they come back, we check and compare from session to session to make sure that we're giving the right exercises and that we're improving strength from as the weeks go on.
It was a friend of Lacey's, Lauren, and she was my physical therapist. And so we discussed, I was telling her about some issues that I had, and she told me about Lacey. And I said, you know, I'd really like to try that. And she told me a little bit about it, and I had some issues that I thought Lacey would be able to help me with. And consequently, that's exactly what happened. She was able to help me with a lot of things that had been on my mind and I'd been worried about. Because I have frequent things to happen to me, and I didn't want to have surgery, in other words. And so throughout this sessions that we've had, it's all worked. It's been very beneficial.
Strengthening is, I would say, only about 50% of what goes on here, though. The other 50% is education. I think it's extremely important to educate the patient on how the bladder and how the pelvic muscles work together so that you can use those muscles to retrain and to eliminate the symptoms.
She gives me a lot of information that I can use at home. Everything we go through, she gives me papers that have the instructions for things that I can do at home, the exercises I can do at home, and which is really beneficial to me.
Patients really feel so much better about themselves after coming to therapy. I have lots of patients who will come in and say, I can't go anywhere without going straight to a restroom. And then they'll a few weeks later come back and say, I went to eat dinner and I didn't even have to go to the restroom the whole time I was there. That's huge.
I'm at the end of it, the end of my sessions now, and everything she got me up to exactly where she wanted me to be, the percentage-wise. And so I'm good to go. I'm can graduate now. And that's what I'm going to do.
As an occupational therapist, it's a very rewarding feeling to know that you've changed someone's quality of life. And that's really what it's all about. We look at the computer a lot when we're doing our exercises, and everyone says, what number do I have to, how strong do I have to be to get rid of my symptoms? And there's no set number. There's no set, if you contract your muscles and squeeze to 20 millivolts, you won't leak anymore. It's different for every single patient. It's specific to each individual. And when people are very dedicated to exercising and to and making the changes that are necessary, they see huge impacts. Their results are amazing, and they tell everybody they know now. They talk about it all the time because they feel like everybody needs to know about this place, and you've got to come to therapy. It helped me so much. For more information, you can look us up at peakphysicaltherapy.com or call us at 225-292-2526. The Peak Pelvic Floor Clinic is located on Jefferson Highway in between Bluebonnet and Airline. I really thought that this Bluebonnet Jefferson area was a great place to be to accommodate patients coming from all parts of Baton Rouge. If you come and see us at the Peak Pelvic Floor Clinic, I promise to help improve your quality of life, make you feel comfortable, and help get your life back.
When we come back on Across Louisiana, find out what you can do to go red for women. Don't miss it.